Hello and welcome into today's video. I always do my hauls from Don Scott Antique Show, and this one is no exception. You gotta stay tuned because the light box is full, the box next to me is full, this huge bag behind the box is full, this other bag is filled with jewelry. I did buy a lot of decorative arts. There's a doll, there's some early antiques, and there's a whole nother box of jewelry. So here we go. My mom is sleeping in the other room. Hey, Mom, are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you sleeping?
Yeah.
She said yes. And what was your friend's name?
I don't remember.
No, what was her name?
Janet Buckeye.
So my mom said she has a friend named Janet Buckeye, and I don't think so because I told her that I have a friend named Jimmy Walnut, and he had a son who was named Cashew, and they just called him Cash for short. And then his daughter, her name was Almond. And Jeremy's just laughing. Jeremy, are you doing your tax paperwork?
Yes.
Jeremy's working on taxes. Jeremy, how hard were you laughing? It was terrible. It was terrible. So do you believe that, Jeremy, that she had a friend named Janet Buckeye?
Well, I mean,
No, I don't think so. The answer is no. She was lying to both of us. So, and then she tried to Google it and show me this lady existed. I don't think so. So anyways, my mom's crazier than crazy, but we're up in Cleveland visiting my mom, and I wanted to show you my haul from Don Scott Antique Show. So welcome in. First things first, let's kind of clear this out of the way. And I'll tell you, Jeremy and I had said to him, was it just me or was it difficult to find things? And he said, it was a little difficult to find things. And then when I got home, I had complained the whole time I was there, I'm not finding much. And then I wound up with like 3 boxes filled, 2 bags, and another paper bag filled. So this came out of kind of a random, almost junk pile. And I think that all of these that I hand selected are magnificent. This is a Victorian silver clover pin. So that is very cool for Victorian. And let me bring this in close and let my camera kind of catch up with me. There we go. We like to keep things in focus here. And Jeremy, I, and my mom just ate a fantastic Italian lunch. So we're all stuffed. And then she ran for the recliner. She said, I'm going to take a nap. So she deserted me. She was supposed to help me with this video. And she said, I'm out of here. So it was like a mic drop. And then she just ran, She doesn't run anywhere except for taking a nap. She took off like a bullet. She's like, I'm out of here. And then she tried to tell me about that friend, Janet Buckeye. I still don't believe it. So, this is mother of pearl shell beads, and I was so excited to find these because I usually don't like shell beads very often. Look at those mother of pearl, the way they actually lathed down and turned down that shell into these magnificent beads of that creamy and champagne colored with that glowing mother of pearl. I love these almost so much that those might be a keep. Now, that reminds me. I have to do an advertisement for Jeremy's sale on Tuesday. It's Jeremy and I's, so go over to Bully Run Coffee on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't have the other piece of paper, so you got to take my word for it. Go over to Bully Run Coffee, all that are new here, BULLYRUN, and then coffee, all one word. We're having a sale this coming Tuesday, February 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Claim style auction, buy it now, fixed price. We don't do auctions. It's basically a virtual estate sale. Let's say that it's not an auction, and because we don't elevate bidding, this is Bully Run Coffee. That's the channel on YouTube, all one word. And then all you have to do is he has in his description for the actual preview of what's being sold. He has the email in the description box. So if you go over to the description, he's got his email, and then you just email him all of your important information. So there we go. There's the little advertisement for Jeremy's and I's. It's a consignment sale. It's our 6th sale. It was a 13.5-pound box of sterling silver, mostly sterling silver, and some costume jewelry. These are sterling silver clasp and then 2 strand of coral. They were on the junk table. I couldn't leave them. I said yes. What was interesting about these are cultured pearls. Yes, they're missing a clasp. So what someone did is they obviously removed the clasp, probably because it was gold. They removed the clasp and probably melted it down. But these are all cultured pearls. and they're really beautiful color. Very creamy, very off-white, and not that yellow kind of cast that you're getting on the screen. They're not yellow at all, but very creamy colored and very beautiful. Hand knotted in between. Need to put a clasp on it. But yeah, that was in a $5 pile. And I said, I can't leave cultured pearls behind. Those are probably 5.5, maybe 6 millimeter. Couldn't leave them behind. This one was Coldwater Creek, and I liked the combination between this ruby glass, very oversized ruby glass, great color, by the way, deep red ruby, and then into these cultured pearls of kind of that raspberry with purple overtone. Coldwater Creek, I'm not a fan of contemporary costume, but I was a fan of the end result. I didn't care who made these. I said it doesn't matter that they're Coldwater Creek, which is very expensive. You know, let's face it, it's still very costly. Let me get all this dirt out of the box, and I'll fair warn you, if you don't like dirt or dust, you're in the wrong space. I'll tell you that right now. This one is sterling silver and enamel with that maple leaf from Canada with the crown and then the scrolled border. Sterling, missing its pin stem. So I do need to fix that. Solid sterling. That was $5. And I said, absolutely, it's coming home with me, because in scrap, it's more than that. This box is an absolute mess. This one being hand beaded. So it is Native American Indian, and it is beaded on very old leather. What I loved about it was its simplicity of form. I love that the fringe was complete and that all those beads were there. Most of them are glass, all completely hand beaded with glass seed beads. Love the dimensional nature of that flower. Absolutely fantastic. It does have a problem way back here. One strand of that is broken. So one strand is missing off the very back of the necklace, but it doesn't affect its the way it functions. So if that bothers you, if imperfect bothers you, this is not your necklace. If a vintage piece that has a history and history behind it and very oversized is your thing, and handmade is your thing, and you like something unusual and very large, this is for you. So that will come to a future sale. And this was great. So I drive Jeremy crazy everywhere we go. Don't I, Jeremy? Yeah, he's still listening. And he said, yes. I found this lock in this gentleman's items. And I said, I have to have this lock. I don't know why. I have to have it. It's old. I love it. And it was complete, but it didn't have the key. So I said to the gentleman, whose name is Sean, I said, Sean, can you find me the key? And look what he did. He went in another suitcase and he found me the key to this lock. And then, to lock it, you have to close it back, and then you have to turn this way, and you have to turn it that way to lock it. And sure enough, now it's locked. So, and it's got that swing kind of, cover that goes over the mechanism. Absolutely early. This was in one container. This was in another container. And this was in a suitcase of thousands of skeleton keys. And he so kindly, as I was shopping, went in and found that opens that. I was so excited. And I told him, I said, if you find the key, let's see here, it goes this way. I don't want to break the mechanism. If you find the key, Sean, I will pay you $5 for the key. So I'll pay you $5 for the lock, and I'll pay you $5 for the key. Look how old that is. 1800s. Completely hand riveted together. So 1800s with the key. I said, absolutely yes. So that made me very happy. Sometimes the simplest of things gets me the most excited. Let's go into some of the gold jewelry and some of the silver jewelry. Let me set this in here. I did get some of the prices off some of these pieces because I never want someone to think I'm taking advantage of them, but it takes a lot of time to find these pieces. It takes gas to get there. It takes breakfast in the morning. It takes you a long time. You're gone all day. So, making money at this business is not a problem. I bought so incredibly well there. I didn't buy that much in terms of quantity, but I found quality. This is all solid 10 karat gold, 2 earrings, so a pair of earrings with these incredible cultured pearls, diamond crowned in gold, and then the pendant that is on there, taped down. Look at the quality and the luster of those giant button style pearls. So really great. I do need to replace the clutch backs back here because they're all messed up. So I need to replace the clutch backs. Probably put on the little acrylic pieces for security and sellability. I had to have that. That was from my friend Kay. She always gets the best jewelry. Jeremy, how much do you love Kay? You love her a lot. Jeremy adores her. And we all know Jeremy can't stand most people. I'm just kidding. He loves everybody, but he really loves Kay. These are 14 karat gold, sapphire, and cultured pearl. I don't know the millimeter on these because I didn't bring my millimeter gauge. Those are beautiful cultured pearls. Look at that sapphire border, though. I think I've always loved blue and pearls together. I also love ruby and pearl together. Let's be transparent there. And I do love emerald and pearls together. There's just something with seeing those rich jewel tones next to the royal and regalness of a pearl. Or we should say the timelessness of a pearl and the royal and regalness of sapphire, emerald, or ruby border. Solid 14 karat gold, very closely color matched, and the luster is beautiful. We did sell a pair of those that had the diamond halo the last time. And I said to Jeremy, if we find those, but in a different stone, let's buy them. And sure enough, we found them. I had one like this months and months and months ago. This is the only other one that Kay has ever had. This is the largest of the chrome diopside rings with that dramatic almost S scroll in clear crystal, solid sterling silver, really incredible craft. And I love this kind of open and asymmetricalness of those almost leaf-shaped, marquee-shaped stones in that lush grass green. Very big span on the hand. So if you want a bold statement piece, this is definitely it. And if you haven't gotten a chrome diopside from us, you probably want to because we looked and we only found 2. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of rings. We only found 2. Why I bought this one is, it's a nod to Art Deco. It looks like it's from the 20s and 30s, and it looks like a gigantic aquamarine. That to me is just a synthetic stone. I will check it, but I love that bold X-shaped fantasy cut stone in light blue, sterling silver mounting, great craft, absolutely fantastic, and a good size. I think, let me see here. I think that one is, yeah, that one's about an 8. It's just over an 8. So a lot of times our most universal sizes are, let me get the size on that chrome diopside too, so people can like make their list and check it twice. This isn't a sale preview just yet. That's a 7.5. So if you're a 7.5, that is definitely your ring. I will say this. People like to get the sizes so they know it's going to work. These earrings are sterling silver, and I think rock crystal, definitely Israeli. Love that kind of brutalist form, lightweight but a big design. So very big presence, or I should say medium-sized presence, but light in weight. And I like the crystal drop so that it goes with everything. This one had haunted me, and I don't know why. I don't know why this is. This took me 4 trips to finally just say, that's it, I'm buying it. This is sterling silver and a very beautiful trilobite fossil. That is one of the best trilobites I have seen, meaning very complete, very good in its polish, and amazing in its detail because of how small it is. Normally, trilobites are much, much bigger, clumsier, weird. This one has a fantastic everything. The border is fantastic, almost like a setting sun, and the energy flow that you get from this is truly magnificent. It's on a very long sterling silver chain, extremely long sterling silver chain, but that for a trilobite pendant, I was very surprised it was still there because it had been out, I think, 4 or 5 times and no one had ever bought it. This stone has always confused me. I'm still confused by it. People are going to start screaming at the TV that this is Prasiolite. That's Prasiolite. How could he not know it? This is not Prasiolite, so stop screaming at the screen. This is absolutely not Prasiolite. There's this secondary yellow veining that runs through these color zones of this very large stone. It might be quartz. It might be color treated quartz. Because of the age of this being from the late 50s into the 1960s, I highly doubt that that's treated quartz. So I'm going to go into this and I'm going to, take a closer look. Why I bought this was the scale, the color, the faceting, that electricity that runs through the stone. The energy of the previous owner is all over this. And I just feel very attached to this particular pendant and stone. I may not sell this. I might sell this. I don't know. I'm going to have to wear it for at least a couple of days and see how this feels to me. If it feels right, I keep it. And I don't have to worry about what stone it is. But I know you all come to me for such an education, and I do my best. And there's times when I'm not sure. So let me pause the video. I'm going to scoot 2 more things out of my way. I'll be right back. I just took a BB, and a BB is a bitch break. All right. I don't know what my problem was. It's like sometimes I just have such the snip in my voice, and I'm not being snippy. I think what it is I am tired, and we're all allowed to have a day, and maybe today is my day. Maybe I don't need to explain myself to anyone. This came from one person. It was $6 for all of this, and sterling silver on both of these. Sterling silver brooch and a sterling silver sailing vessel in filigree. Would I seek these out normally to buy them? The answer is no. But for the $6 for all this, I said, okay, yeah, $6 will work for me because I know I can get at least double that for that one. Being a beautiful Art Deco styled sterling silver floral brooch. So I said, yes, made all this stuff free. And there's a really nice, down in here, I'm not going to unbag all this, but there's a really nice cross in here. See that sterling silver cross? A really nice chain on there too. So that might be a giveaway item. Maybe I just give that away to someone who needs it. There's a little turtle, there's a signet ring. So I'll go through that and we'll sort that. I'm not going to do that on camera. A lot of people do the unbaggings and the unsorting and all that. And I'm just like, can we please get on with the show? I have so much more to do. This pendant is very cool. Silver tone brooch that is missing 2 stones, but I think they're down in the bag. Well, there's one. Let's see here. Oh no, I have the hiccups. And this one might be Monet. So is it worth Monet? No, it's not worth Monet. All right, I gotta stop. We'll put that out of the way and we'll go through that later. Let's go into this bag because this was some of the more fun stuff. This was some of the more dramatic and fun. I don't want to show my price on this one because, again, I don't know if I'm going to sell that one, so I took that out. This was another bundle that I had done. This was from 2 dealers. Well, if Jeremy were in here, I think this was from 3 different dealers. So let's untangle. And unfortunately, a lot of the dealers there, they weren't prepared with bags. So I like to, bag everything separately, but they weren't prepared. These will definitely sell. I'll bring these to a sale video. These are cultured pearls, 14 karat gold or 10 karat gold clasp. I really like the luster and color of these. People have asked, can you bring on a simple and smaller strand of pearls? So any requests that we get, I always fulfill those as best as I can. So we'll bring those on. Let me set those out of the way. And then, I don't know. I moved that one box and I shouldn't. Here, I got to show this one because this is a big deal. This one's a big deal in that one. This one is an Art Deco necklace. This is from the late 1920s. It is faux pearl, so it's completely costume. And I wouldn't normally reach for these, but it was so complete on its original chain with that grape cluster design, and a lot of people have asked, can you please bring on some Art Deco necklaces that we can use to layer? And I said, I absolutely will. Since you ask so politely, I will absolutely fulfill any request. This is Bakelite. This is called Mississippi Mud, and that is a great term for this because it does look like a muddy river, because look at that river and energy flow of Bakelite. Brown and mottled yellow on an amber kind of color. Really beautiful. And Jeremy, I pulled this out of the case and I said, what do you think of this? And he said, absolutely yes. I think why is he saw the patterning more than the color saturation on that. Let's go into this box because like I said, let's squeeze these out of the way. We've got to look at this. This is absolutely awesome. And I got very lucky. This is an over 8 karat gem grade tanzanite. in that purple blue that you want to see. The cut and the faceting. Look how the light goes on forever in this. So this is an, I believe, an 8 point, let me look at the paperwork that I had written down, an 8.5 carat, and that's approximate. So an 8.5 carat. Normally when you get anything over a 3 carat, you have to compromise either clarity or carat weight. This didn't compromise either. This captured the blue purple, and look at the clarity in this stone. The way it's faceted, absolutely beautiful. And check out the balance of light. Check out the way that returns the light to the viewer. See that electric purple cast? You want to see both colors in tanzanite. You don't want it to stay just sapphire blue. If you did, why not just buy a sapphire? But look at that bluish purple. You really want to see blue first, and you want to see a purple overcast. This is gem grade. It's absolutely exquisite. So that was a yes. And as soon as I found that, I said, I looked at, Jeremy, and I said, I have to. I have no choice. We'll set that out of the way. So that will come to a sale. It won't be inexpensive, but most certainly I can beat retail by a mile. Like I can. This is blue diamonds, champagne diamonds, or candlelight. I think it was missing one tiny stone. Where's my loop? I think it was missing one tiny stone. And maybe it's not. Let me look here. Okay, it's not. So I made a mistake here. So where the prongs are folded over, let me show you. They're borrowed. See how that's not missing a stone? Because see on here, the prongs are like borrowed and go over. So that goes to that stone. That goes to that stone. See how there's no stone missing there? Because there's no hole drilled in. So that is not missing a stone. That's the way they're spaced on the side of the ring. See there? They're all prong set. Look at those for blue diamonds. And yes, this does need to be cleaned. Loved these larger champagne stones in the center. I'm very well known for my diamonds in sterling because you get so much more expressive. Like if this was gold and diamonds, it'd be smaller, be less complex. There's a courageousness of using diamonds in sterling because you're saving so much money in the metal. That's a size 9, and that's like a folded floral, a folded flower. Now I bought this one from a dealer. Love the construction on the back of this. Love the presentation on the front of this. Really needs a good bath. It's very, very dirty. Those pieces from that gentleman were all estate. And he can only clean so much. I just lost something on the floor. Here it is. Here's a little pendant that I just lost on the floor. But anyways, so he just, has limited time. And there's no fault of that. Look at these for champagne diamonds, brown fancy. And there's a 2-row in the center of that scrolled and foliate ring. So why I bought the blue one and floral is like one person's taste. And then champagne and filigree, very classy, very sophisticated. That other ring is very whimsical. This one is more elegant. This one is more, refined in a way. This is a size 8. So again, a universal and really fantastic sterling work. And I do, of course, love these undercarriage or undergallery when they're pierced out and finished. It's just a statement of quality. And those stones, I showed Jeremy this one before I bought it, and I looked at him like yes or no. He absolutely said 100%. It just didn't even take him but a few seconds to say, yes, do it. This one was listed as topaz, and I don't want to sound arrogant, but I like when I'm smarter than the person selling, or at least more well-versed than the person selling. He said this one was topaz, and it's not. This one's blue zircon, and I think they're clear zircon. I, first of all, loved the wave design. This kind of motion, this kind of natural, like wave form and wave design. Those are blue zircon, and you can tell by that scintillation and dazzle that they look like blue diamonds, don't they? So those are out of the ground blue zircon. If you have not seen or familiar with my blue zircon video or my video on zircon gemstones, please go over it and watch it. I worked very hard on that video, like most of my videos, and I would like for you to learn a little bit more about zircon. It's not an easy stone to find. That is a size 8. And again, I love that directionalness and that ocean wave. You might ask yourself, Jason, what's the difference between the value of this as blue topaz and the value of this as blue zircon? Not telling you what I'm going to sell this ring for, because it will come to a sale, but if you were to find this in blue topaz, it'd be around $60. You can easily double or triple that for blue zircon in this carat weight, in that size and in that color. See how there's a difference in the blues as well? See how there's a variation there? You wouldn't necessarily see that in a blue topaz version. So there is greater desirability for blue zircon, and there is a more rare factor. You don't find them in jewelry as often as blue topaz. I would say this, for every for every 10 of those or 20 of those in blue topaz, you'll find one in blue zircon. And I should say it more like for every 50, you'll find 1 or 2 in blue zircon. So much more rare and much more desirable. This is turquoise, probably a resin inlay, and then mother of pearl. Very small and classy. So I bought that because it was inexpensive and I could pop it on a chain for the people that love delicate and dainty. And this one was the first one I bought from this dealer. And as soon as I saw it, I went ballistic. This is Michael Vellituti. I don't buy by designer. I don't buy by a name. I don't buy by a company. I buy by design. I buy by craft. This had exceptional design and exceptional craft and exceptional gemstones. That is apparently either a citrine or a colored quartz. The green looked like chrome diopside or possibly green garnet, so I'll have to check those out. Look how sculptural and bold this incredible sterling silver ring is with that almost euro shank. Look how they made that to fit the fingers. See how that kind of took the sides in and tapered the sides so it fits so beautifully on the hand. There was something just so incredible, so impressive, such a piece of like architecture, like a building with this crown jewel in the center of it. When I saw the bi-colored metal, both in rhodium and yellow gold plating on the sterling silver base, I was 100% convinced that was coming home with me. Would I say at any price? No. Would I say it was I willing to pay up for this because I felt it extraordinary and something I hadn't seen? The answer was yes. I think retail on rings like that, if you can find them now, they're around $250 to $275. That's at least my gut feeling on it. Haven't looked them up because I don't stay current on contemporary designers and what they sell for. Avi Sofer. This is by Avi Sofer, a much loved and collected Israeli silversmith. Sterling silver, look at that monstrous cubic zirconia from the late 80s, early 90s. That shouldn't look like a giant diamond. It most certainly looks like a giant diamond. Looks like a 10 carat or 15 carat diamond. And you've got the smaller one to kind of balance out this whiplash and asymmetrical collar. I love this rigidness of this, but guess what? It's not a rigid collar because it's fully articulating on many axes. See how it's jointed here to give movement? It's jointed here to give movement. It follows the form of the neck so beautifully. Look at that on. It hugs the neck. It lays down beautifully. Check your jewelry. Just because it's attractive and just because it looks great off the body in a showcase, put it on neck form. How does it feel? What does it look like? Does it look like it belongs on the human neck? Some things don't. Some things are crafted beautifully and they don't look right once they're on. So just be careful with that. This is extremely wearable, and this is even formed to the neck as well with these soft kind of bends that then follow the shape of the necklace. I did very gently polish the it had like old polishing compound on it. I didn't get all of it off of there, but I kind of lightly buffed it down. It does have more of a matte finish. If you want to high polish it, you most certainly can. It would take a high polish. I don't think I would. It's signed Avi Sofer Israel 925 and other hallmarks as well. Completely hand constructed, an earlier work for Avi Sofer and not production. This was the studio line, if you will, completely hand constructed. There is nothing cast on this necklace. So each part was labor intensive, putting it together and casting, or putting it together and assembling it, not casting it. There we go. So it's not wax, burnout, and made by the tens of thousands. These are completely hand constructed out of hammered wire, flat sheet, and the bezels are all hand constructed for these stones. Look at how that is thought up to put this little edge here to make sure that looks like it's floating on the necklace. That little undercarriage there holding the bezel up next to this really incredible hollow formed ball form. Really just great. I love the asymmetry, and again, goes with everything. Avi Sofer work, if you're not familiar with it, please go over and take a look. Many rings from this. We'll put this one here. This is the best, so stay tuned. If I haven't lost you, get the sneak peek there. You'll be back in, the end of the video to see that one. This one, not sure what's in there. And then this one, let's go. Oh, I bought this. Let me show you the small things that I bought. Let's squeeze these out of the way. And let's go with the small things that I bought really quick, because I am known for decorative arts. I bought this one for myself. When I walked up to the booth, I said to myself, if this is $250 or under, I'm buying it for myself, for my personal collection. Cloisonne usually has some problems. There's a slight hairline here and a little hairline here, and there is a bruise to the enameling right here. So there's an internal kind of bruise right there to the enameling. You can barely feel it with your finger, but that didn't bother me. Look at the chasing and engraving of that silvered surface from behind. Let's zoom on these fish. That is one of the most either carp or koi. I'm 99% sure that would be considered a koi fish. Jeremy knows my affection for fancy goldfish, and I still have one. I have one of my ranchus left. One of my ranchus, my Japanese ranchu, is still doing okay. Still doing fine. I lost a lot of them years ago, and I didn't replace them. I have one holdout. He's very old. Jeremy, how old is he? Like 8? You think about 8 years old? Isn't he cute? Didn't you see his head the other day, how big he is? He's so chubby and he's so big. He's very happy. But I love goldfish, and they've been something that I've been interested in since I was a child. And I won one at a fair one time, and it lived for like 380 years. The thing lived forever. But we called it Goldie. I mean, how creative could that be? This is the signature right there. What happens with these is, of course, they always get a lot of damage. I love the color play of this one, of the way this surface is treated underneath, and I love the color play of that gray and that almost flaming salmon color. The detail on these of the eye and the mouth, the fins and that kind of radiating surface. Look at the scales, how they went in there and they made all these scales. This is considered wireless cloisonne, so that is considered wireless cloisonne. There are no wires that hold these colors together. That is called wireless cloisonne. A lot of times we call this Limoges. When you see it in other places in the world, we call it Limoges enamel, but this is technically wireless cloisonne. Just incredibly well done. And look at the price. As soon as I saw this, I almost squealed. $85, and I did offer $70 because of the little damage over here, and they did accept the $70. So I was to the moon. So I treated myself to this, and I loved that turquoise color that kind of gradates down into that, it just is incredible. I could talk about that forever, and I hope you understand my excitement. On that one, the age of that would be circa 1900. If someone said it was early 20th century in an auction catalog, they'd be telling the truth. Could it be as early as 1890? Yes. Could it be as late as 1920? Sure, it could be. Now, this one was, I was gonna buy this for resale, and Let me take the tag off of it. Let me get the tag off of this because I just don't want, I don't want a conflict. No, I'm not taking the tag off. I'm just gonna hide the tag. Look at this. I showed my friend in Cleveland who really knows turquoise very well, and he said he believes it to be Bisbee turquoise. I can't confirm or deny that. I've seen Bisbee that looks exactly like this, and I've seen two other mines that look very close to this. So if someone has a differing opinion on this, if you want to leave it in the comment section, that's fine. But he was 99% sure it was Bisbee, and the reason for that is he was out west when I sent him the picture, and I think he showed two dealers, and they both said Bisbee, Bisbee. So, and when you're a dealer in it, and you see it every day, you're very familiar. But I wouldn't say that that's not. I would almost agree. I like that kind of yellowy overtone, but that brownish matrix there. Definitely a beautiful stone, no matter what it is. Look at the size of this for a buckle. Let me flip the tag over. I don't care if you see the writing on there, but look at how many signatures. Look at that right there. John, and then signed, and then says from Sam. I don't know. Dr. John Stevens from Sam. Yikes. Sam. Don't know who Sam's last name is. Probably Sam could have been the artist, is my guess. A lot of times these earlier pieces were signed to people and then given to them. This is just incredible. The energy flow. Look at the color of this. The size of this. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to come home with it, but I was trying to find a way to afford it. But it came in a bundle deal. This one, this is all catalog writing on this. I wasn't worried about it. But look at that for 14 karat gold and diamond ring. This is approximately, I think that comes in right at about 50 points. Here's my handy dandy gauge that I use out in the field. And I think it comes in right at about a 50 pointer. That looks like that's about, maybe it's bigger. I had Jeremy look at this when I was there. It might be over because that's 52. And see how that is right there with no air around it? It might be right at a half carat or 52 points. Right there. Yeah, that one optically looks about half carat. That is a beautiful size 6.5 without smashing it down on there. So that's a 6.5 and a gorgeous diamond. Definitely vintage. Love the asymmetrical swoop with additional diamonds. So that'll come to a sale. I love how thick this band is, how it's all soldered together. Very robust, very thick, very well thought out, like that is the wrap for the ring. But the scintillation of that diamond, absolutely yes. Let me move that out of the way. And this other turquoise necklace. Now, I did splurge on this one, and I didn't care. And the reason why I didn't care was I said to myself, I may not sell it. I need something a little bigger. I need substantial. When I wear things, I like the bigger pieces and more bold. But when it's a great stone like this, I go, I don't care how big or small. A good size for me. So I'm thinking, I'm on the fence. Do I keep it? Do I sell it? I didn't put it in inventory yet. So that doesn't mean I won't, but it's not in inventory as of yet. I did like how that was drilled out there for the bail, simple jump ring, and that kind of graduated raindrop with this wonderful single whiplash leaf. Very courageous silversmith here. Very, very courageous silversmith. Signed with a lightning bolt right there. And then sterling. Love that this is open back. And look at that natural matrix running through that turquoise. That's the host stone that turquoise sometimes grows in very thin, wafer thin layer of turquoise deposit. And then you start to see that matrix through it when you polish that stone down. Loved the color, loved the matrix, loved the mounting. There wasn't anything that was left out on that. Sometimes when you see those pieces, the stones are great and the mountings aren't. The mountings just lose it for us. These, I don't want to go through all these because, well, just understand that this whole bag is completely loaded with sterling necklaces. So this is all sterling silver necklaces. I think there's about maybe 15 of them in there in the leader bag. I'll go through those eventually. They're just very commercial. But when I find sterling chains for way less than retail, I'm in all day long because everybody asks for sterling chains. Jeremy helped me pick this one out. We have had great luck with unusual colored stones and our raspberry garnets or our, should you say rhodolite? Let me make sure that This is sterling. Yes, I want to make sure. I did buy one in white gold. Um, Not this big or complex. This one's sterling silver, signed down on the inside, and look at the gallery underneath. For purple garnet, rhodolite garnet, very substantial size. Loved that kind of paved surface. And again, we covered another size for rings. And look at this. So that is a 6 1/4. 6 1/4. There's the inventory code of the gentleman that sold it to me. And he was super nice guy. And he had so much estate jewelry that all of his tags were coded like that in a computer system. He was very, very prepared for the show. It was nice to meet him again. I had bought from him like a year or so ago. I bought this one for myself. So this will not be coming to any sale. Sorry, but I will show you when I buy something for myself. This is a lavalier necklace, and I loved the way that onyx was faceted with that old European cut bezel set European cut diamond, about 20 points. That one's about an 8-point diamond, and this is all 18 karat gold. It was tested. Love that it's fully jointed. It moves with the wearer, very classy, very small scale. Love that that's bezel set with an open back. I think that's a fantastic bail at the top of it with that little fleur-de-lis shape. Put it on this 14 karat white gold chain when I came home. Not the right period for a chain. Let me stick this in this back here because the chain it's like 20 something inches long, and I stuck it in the back of that because it was falling out. But look at the way those onyx are cut. Almost invisibly set, but they're cut like that. And it's one piece of onyx that's bezel set around that. Love that push and pull of the light. But I wish you could see that diamond better in better lighting, because boy, does it light up like a firework. There's nothing like the cut of old stones. There just isn't. So that's a keep for me as a historical piece that I'd like to put in my collection. Then we'll get into some more smaller things, and we'll call it, because we're 40 minutes in, and we only wanted to stay on for roughly 50 minutes. But we're going to go over today, and I decided I'm not going to rush in my videos. I'm just not going to do it. These are pink tourmaline, faceted, sterling silver chandelier earrings. Let me see if this one will straighten out a little bit. But they're hand beaded, marcasite, and of course that fell off of there, because why wouldn't it? And as you can tell, there was a Rottweiler that I was betting. So there's a little bit of fur on this card because there was the cutest little Rottweiler, and I was all loving all over it. Didn't care about the fur. Those are marcasite and sterling silver. Loved that chandelier style for sterling silver earrings on their original card. And I got a heck of a buy. And I knew that somebody out there is looking for, tourmaline earrings. This is interesting. Now, anytime I can buy metal under scrap, I do it. And this really surprised me. So it says right on here, 1/4 ounce coin silver. So there's these coin silver nuggets, kind of like casting grain. In silversmithing, we call this casting grain. And normally it's 99% silver or 95% silver, almost pure silver and casting grain. And this was labeled as coin silver. I'm not wondering if this was melted down from coins and just like, nuggets from being melted down, or if this was casting grain that they unfortunately thought was coin silver. So it may not be coin silver, which is like normally, let's say 80%, 85%, whatever kind of alloy you want to say for coin silver. Everyone can fight over that as much as they want. I don't fight over reindeer games, but 1/4 ounce, right? An ounce of silver today is 30 some dollars. So 1/4 ounce, that's what, $8, $9? Who's really counting? $8. And this is $2. This is $2 for 1/4 ounce of coin silver. So rather than have worthless paper that doesn't do much, I thought, you know what? I'm going to take that out in metal. So that's just gonna, hang out for a while. We'll go into these. Oh, I wanted to say thank you so much to my consigner. I forgot to do this, and I hope she's listening. She sent me champagne diamonds. And there's other diamonds in here that are not champagne, but she sent me these replacement diamonds. I was so excited. So, sweetheart, look at what you sent me. Thank you so much for these dazzling and gorgeous diamonds. And look at the white ones. Those are going to be great for restoration in pave or settings. And those are great diamonds. So thank you so much. Whoops, we can't lose these two right over there. Look, you can't lose those babies. You got to move everybody over into the center of the paper so we don't lose anything. All I can say is from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being so generous with me and with Jeremy and with my mother and Becky. Thank you for all the gifts that you have sent us. You have been the kindest and most genuine, and now you are a loyal friend of mine. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. 4 rings. And before we do the rings, because I got to keep you to the end, let's just push them here again. Look at this Steiff bunny rabbit. And what had happened was, look at the face. What happened was I walked up to this booth and I instantly had this major love affair with this Steiff bunny rabbit. People say, how do you know it's Steiff for sure? It has the button in the ear, so it has its original button there. So look at this mohair bunny. That expression on that face, I'll just let you take that in. How could anyone have a bad day with that sitting on their desk? And it's all compact and kind of hunched and ready to run with its giant rabbit ears. Look at the mouth. I mean, that looks like me on Mondays when I have to ship for eBay. A glass paperweight eyes. I'll just let you take that in again. That is just amazing. So there you go, Steiff bunny rabbit. And that has an interesting story because the gentleman that sold me that, he was just getting set up. And he said, do you want anything on this table with your purchase? And I said, I would really like to have that bunny rabbit. And he said, okay, you could just take that home with you. I couldn't believe it. So I gave him an extra $5 because I felt guilty. This is rose quartz and an egg. So all this was in a whole another pile of very inexpensive jewelry, but a giant rose quartz egg pendant. I really love the ability to turn that into something cool. I love this one. This is modernist and something urban fetish from 1998. And that's a well-known brand and company. Cast aluminum with that kind of stylized or graphic people from the 90s. This one is I believe, Japanese or Chinese. I believe more Japanese. Mother of pearl, carved and pierced out fan brooch. These were not collectible. And all of a sudden, through the roof, an art glass pin. Absolutely loved it. Fell in love. Loved the color. Loved the design. Said absolutely yes. This was awesome. Normally, I would look right over this and not touch it. This one is Czechoslovakian glass. It has the embedded pin back. This would be late 1980s into the 1990s. Look at that Memphis Modern. Black glass with this metallic silver line running through it. Nothing says Miami Vice quite like that. And then this is a handmade porcelain fish brooch. Loved its whimsy, loved its size. Very lightweight, completely artisan constructed. And when something like this winds up in a pile of like paparazzi jewelry or all the other things that it was with, I said, I can't leave that in that contemporary garbage. I gotta save this. And so I said, someone labored over that with the glaze, the way that's hand formed. To other people, they'd leave it behind. Not me. I said, nope, I'm not leaving it behind. Same thing with this. This is fused glass. And I loved the directional nature of this with this kind of graphic gold on one side, then the striped patterning on the other, but it's totally reversible. So it's completely reversible all the way through and through. But these other glass beads on a simple leather cord. So you just toggle that together. You have a very asymmetrical and very cool artisan constructed. It's all about art to me. This one was great because these never sold for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden they're totally back for summer. So I thought, you know what? While I have 6 months to sell these, I'm going to take advantage of it. So this is I think this is a 5-strand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-strand. That's a 4-strand in that fuchsia, bright fuchsia and light purple. Definitely 90s all day long. We remember that in the early 90s. And then this one. This one is fantastic. It's so whimsical. It's so cool. And as soon as I saw this, I thought of immediately my friend Gail Laston. She's a local reseller, a friend, and she loves the wacky and wild, and she sells the living heck out of it. And so I said to myself, if this isn't a Gail necklace, I don't know what is. And I don't think it's, famous designer, but I think it's definitely artisan. I thought that was a gold clasp. Sure looked right, but I looked close. It's not. Love the asymmetry of these kind of spaced stations, Fimo beads, mixture of color and form, and then that free swinging polka dotted fuchsia pink again ring. So just fun and cool, very long, super cool. I don't think of those as, so serious right now, but that's the next thing that's up and coming. Let's look into the smalls, then we'll get into the rings. Can't believe I'm still going. This one was important to me, and this one's very fragile, so I do want to take my time. But this is, I had one of these years ago, and I got a lot of money for it, but mine was a little girl doll. And this is a China head doll. Now, I'm not a doll expert, but I know enough to get me into a lot of trouble. This one's a very early, and I always consider these Victorian. This is filled with sawdust or silcia, whatever someone wants to call it. I always called it sawdust. Some collectors call it silcia. This is a beautiful China head. So this is just like the bust line. So this head, let me show you one out of the, here. Oh, this one, here. This is what we normally find, but not this big. So this is a China head, and she's very beautiful. And I have quite a few of these in my collection. I do have some complete on their kid leather bodies, but this is beautiful. And some people say this is Jenny Lynn and all this other stuff. I don't get into all of that. They date them by hairstyle. Sometimes the blonde is more expensive than the black, or I should say all the time. The face, the hair is different. If you get different versions and different sizes, that controls the value. This is what we normally see when we say a China head doll. So you have the China head, and then you have this kind of bust line. For those that want to know more about dolls, if you could go over to Lady Sylvia, she has a magnificent channel and she shows her doll collection. I have never heard Lady Sylvia make a mistake on her dolls ever, let alone her jewelry. I've never heard her make a mistake on her channel ever. For her information, she's very accurate. She's a dear friend of mine. So if you want to know more about dolls, please go over to Lady Sylvia's channel. But that's a China head. So why I show you that one is I got that from the dealer for $10. Years ago, depending on hairstyle and desirability, that could be between $65 and $200 and some dollars. I would say on that one now, maybe it's around $35 or $45. Some people are like screaming at the camera, it's way too much, it's way too low. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I sell in Ohio, I don't sell on the coasts, I sell in Ohio. So this has the same bust line. See where that China head has the bust? This is a very unusual version. Being African American, the nose is not chipped, it's just paint wear. So that is like the glaze wear of that high-fired glaze. This is a very handsome African American China head doll. This is very unusual. Yes, the arm is completely broken off, and yes, there is quite a bit of problems going on here with the other hand, with the chip on the end. The, I believe, original shirt. Why I say this is, I do know very early fabrics. This fabric appears to me to be original in the time period of this doll. Circa dating the whole thing, 1870. Could it be 1860? Sure. Could it be 1890? I start to disagree with the later dating on this. A simple glass stud. I'm not an expert, but this spoke to me and said, take me home. I need to be fixed. So this is broken off. This is where the leg has been come apart from that either oilcloth or linen body that this doll is. It might have the leather body up here. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get into this. That is a shirt stud. Let's see if we can carefully get into this and open this up. All right, so there we go. There's the bust line. I said a China head. So there's the China head portion, the bust line there. Attached to that looks like, people would say, is that horsehair fabric? It's most certainly not. Looks more oilcloth based fabric. That's what it appears to be. I love that early stud holding this together to show a young boy how to put a shirt stud in his little eyelet on his shirt. Really fantastic. Let's see here. The legs are original. And you can see that this has had quite the rough life, but these dolls were meant to be used. Very unusual, I'll say this much, highly unusual to see an African-American China head doll. I think the last one I sold as a female, she had as much damage, and years ago on eBay, I got $225 for a similar size as a girl. I do have, I think, another one that might be a boy in my collection. I'll have to look upstairs. So anyways, so there's that. Oh, and then is that, let's see here. Yeah, I want to put his arm that way. All right, let's move him out of the way. As soon as I saw that, I went crazy. As is, I still think it's worth, 100 and something all day long. That's just my gut feeling. And Lady Sylvia, if you're watching this and you want to correct me, please do so. This is a half doll, a pincushion doll. Needs to be cleaned up. A lot of, I haven't touched any of these getting them home. This one's German, very deco, stylized bobbed hair, dramatic eye makeup, the red lips, the hat. An arms away version, meaning that arms being away from the body, would be 3 times the price of this one. Size and scale on this, you're probably around $35 to $50 full retail. Years ago, $125, $165, not unheard of, but now they're just not as desirable. Let me get that back in its bag. And then there's this one. This one was the first thing that I bought. I just really liked her a lot with her little flapper headdress and the dramatic flower and her little bobbed hair and her sweet little face holding flowers. Very demure. Definitely German. And see, this is where, when I say half pin doll, it's sewn onto a, again, a stuffed pin cushion that's kind of like a bodice. Sometimes these would have legs that would be separate. I don't know if she did. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Stylistically, I would not think this one had legs. The other one probably did. This one probably not. Now, may have. Most did not. This sat on a cushion stuffed like silk, and then you would use it to do sewing pins, your hat pins, or your stick pins. So there you go. Half pin, half doll, and it's considered a half doll, and they used it for pin cushions, or they call it a pin cushion doll. 2 fobs as I trip over and getting stuck on this bag, as I panic over here to try and get the video done. My back is sore, my neck is sore. Just want to take a break over here. This one is gold filled. This is Victorian. This is $45 back in the day. And this one is a slide fob in a, I would say, more nickel silver in the metal construction. And what's lovely about this is the slide that's on here. Both of these were $5 each for transparency on my channel. $5 on this one, $5 on this one. What I will say is that the condition of these is always very important. 1880, 1890 with their original fob on the bottom. I would say value on this one now, 35 to 45 still, maybe at 65 or 75 if you get highly aggressive, which I don't do. And on the enameled version, I think I saw one of these out at an antique show for like 125. It did not sell for that. So although people are asking certain prices, they may not be getting those certain prices. And that's where the truth and transparency of my channel comes from. I would say you could ask $125 to $145. You're probably not going to get it. You'll probably get more like $65 or $75. So that is absolutely gorgeous enamel work with the 2 stars. Love the color. Love the fact that this was all original. And for fob chains, this one is really great with the slide. So that is fantastic. That connects to the watch. This connects to the button, or this connects to the watch. That goes towards the button. However they wanted to wear it, that's what they did. So we got those 2. Now we're down to the 4 rings, and we are going to call it. I am tired out. Let's start with the one that is a incredible peridot. So that one is in 10 karat gold. This one is absolutely exceptional. I love the size of the stone. I love the color of it. And I love that elliptical eye design. I believe that the clear stones are white topaz, or they could be colorless sapphire. That is 10 karat gold. And of course, gotta look at the profile, the way these are put together. Look how thick and robust that metal is. Someone really spent a lot of money on this ring back in the day, and that green color is magnificent. Just so you know, that's coming to a sale eventually. That is a size 9. If you are a size 9 and looking for a peridot, watch out in a couple of weeks, because we're definitely going to have a fantastic sale from this haul. This one's very unusual. This one is 14 karat yellow gold. This is a 8.5. What is amazing about this is it is a genuine black opal that has the most deep red and purple and yellow and green flash. Wish I could light this up with my pen light, which apparently I don't have right now. But that is one heck of a ring. When I bring that back on for the preview of the sale, look out, because that fire inside of that opal is incredible. Solid 14 karat gold and really wonderful. Bought that one. Very heavy gold mounting on that one. Then we're going to get into this one, and we're going to go with the best piece for last, because that's the way we work it. In this box, stay tuned for a couple more minutes. Black diamond, white diamond, solid 10 karat gold. I've said before on my channel, a lot of people frown at 10 karat and say, I wish it was 14 karat. Well, then you'll say to me, I wish I wouldn't have to go to my jeweler so frequently to get my prongs redone on my ring. And I said, if it was made in 10 karat gold, you wouldn't have to go as frequent. 10 karat gold is more robust. It's more resilient to wear because it has so much more alloy in it. Gold is by nature very soft. When you alloy it with other metals, 10 karat is absolutely beautiful. It looks just like regular gold, and it is more robust. So this is a size 6, just over a 6. That is a natural black diamond, natural white diamond surround. Absolutely beautiful wedding set. So you've got the engagement ring, the wedding set, the wedding band. Both are soldered together right now so that doesn't spin when you wear it. Absolutely great on the hand. And when Jeremy saw this one, he said, do it. You have to. So I did. So there we go. That one. And then this is the last of the day. And I'll let everybody go. I guess I should say I regret that the video was an hour. But after all, I think this is going to air on Sunday. So what else do you have to do on Sunday but spend a little time with me? And I do appreciate it. This is the gigantic and incredible diamond ring. And the lady that I bought this from is delightful. She did not have this out. She called me over to her booth and she said, I'm going to be putting this out, and would you like to buy it? And we came up with a price. We negotiated for a while. This does need a little bit of a restoration on one of the tips of the stone. For full transparency, I'm not going to go there yet because I will get the restoration done. And this does go down to just at the 10. So it's basically a 9 3/4. Look at the size and clarity of that marquee diamond. This is an earth mined diamond. This is not lab grown. Look at the shoulders, that they swell up, and they have those gigantic tapered baguettes set in platinum and solid 18 karat gold. This whole band here is platinum here. Look at how thick and robust and chunky the platinum is. They spared no expense. Solid platinum, solid 18 karat gold, really exceptional, great, almost 1 carat diamond. I think it's right at a carat. Does need some restoration to one of the tips. There's a very small chip to one of the tips. It will cost me some money and some time. And these are fancy colored diamonds and white diamonds in a 14 karat gold shank that is soldered to the back for a presentation that says, I am loved and I love design. So it says two things. It says, I'm not a usual lady. And it says, I am loved and I like unusual things as well. So very well thought out, very beautiful, certainly timeless. And look from across the room, look at how that diamond performs from that far away in the camera. I'm nowhere near the camera, and look at the way that dazzles and sparkles. So as soon as I saw this, and by the way, it's not from a box store. That's the only box that she had. But you can't do that at a box store, that's for sure. Magnificent, fantastic, I love it. And I'll close with the fact of reiterating, please go over to Bully Run Coffee's site on YouTube, the channel, that's Jeremy's. His sale is going to be in 2 days from the airing of this video. It's Tuesday, February 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Claim style, buy it now. There you go. There's the information. I thank you so much for joining in today. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you. I wish you an extremely happy Sunday. If you go to work this week, please drive safe. Please be mindful of other travelers. Please watch the weather. Just be safe. Be kind to everybody else. Have an exceptional week. I look forward to spending some time with you live on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Bully Run. And I do want to thank each and every one of you that participates in the sales. Even if you don't buy anything, we still love to have you there because we have a heck of a lot of fun. We love to laugh. We love to educate. We love to lift you all up, and you do the same thing for me. On a bad day, or if I don't seem right, or I'm not perfect, I appreciate your kindness and forgiveness. Never forget this because it's true. I love you because I do.